My first question is, what's the experience like recording tales for the movies versus the games?
So it's very similar. I'm by myself typically. The biggest difference is the circumstances where Tails finds himself, but I approach Tails the same way, whether it's a game or the show or the movies. It's just, depends on the script and where he is in the universe.
So across all three of the movies now, what's your favorite Tales scene?
Oh, there's so many good ones.
Yeah.
I love the tavern scene in the second movie. It was so much fun. The Chow Garden in the third movie. I mean, that's brilliant. I love it.
Do you remember, or do you have like a very distinct memory of the first time you played a Sonic game?
I know exactly when first time I played a Sonic game. I think it was after the first movie. They had sent me a gaming system, and I had a friend of mine come over, and we hooked it up, and we played Sonic 2. I had a little Sega cartridge thing, and I was terrible at it. I played as Tails, and I was awful. I was really, really bad. There's too many buttons. I didn't know what I was doing, but it was really fun. I mean, of course had seen them before, but I'm really not a great video game.
It's okay. I play those Sonic games and I'm still bad at them. So what? I've been playing them my whole life. They're hard video games. They're really hard. Care who else.
The hardest level was the pinball machine one.
Yeah.
Holy cow, that was hard.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
So speaking of the games, if you had to make a Tails spin-off game, Tails could go do anything that they want. What are you thinking? A cooking game or
I think it would have to be a gadget making game, right?
Gadget making game, yeah, like some crafting. Tails is getting up to something.
Absolutely, crafting that makes things do things.
What makes Tails the ideal companion for Sonic's adventures?
I think he's up for anything, so that's the perfect person to have on your team, right? Somebody that's willing to just jump in, even if he's not totally completely on board, but he's gonna do it because he's on the team and he's your friend, and he's not gonna let you do it by yourself.
Speaking of your companion, Ben, that clip's been going around about Ben finally learning about the miles prowler per hour joke.
I know, that was so funny.
How long did it take you to understand that pun? Did you get it immediately?
Oh, I got it immediately as soon as I knew it, but I didn't know that he had a first and last name until I had already worked on Sonic Boom for a year, and nobody told me, and I didn't know, and we went to a Sonic event in New York. They took the whole cast, and somebody showed me one of those big encyclopedia of Sonic books, and they opened the Tails page because they wanted me to sign the page, and it said miles per hour, and I'm like, that's hilarious, and why didn't anybody tell me he had a first and last name?
Can you remember what your first performance at Tails was like and how it's changed, over time?
So when I auditioned for Sonic Boom and I booked the part of Tails, we actually did a game first. So whatever game that was in 2014, and so that was my very first foray into Tails, and so I was by myself. So working on Sonic Boom, I got to work with the whole cast, and it was an ensemble record, but for the games you're by yourself, and so it was just that whole big binder of lines that are just action. So it was a lot of gotta go, come on Sonic, let's go, da-da-da, all of that super high energy. And then when we started working on the show, then there's more dialogue, and you realize, he's got more, there's more to him than just trying to go fast and winning a race.
Tails has been around for a very long time. The movies, obviously, the last handful of years, the third one just came out. How big of an impact have you personally seen on kids, adults, and with Sonic and the company, thanks to these movies, bringing them to a new audience?
Yeah, it's huge. It's a huge impact. Everywhere you go, you see kids wearing stuff. They've got backpacks and shoes and sweatshirts, and everywhere I go, I see Sonic stuff. You can't go to a store anywhere. We were in Aruba. I took my kids to Aruba last year, and there was the thing that had Sonic stuff. It was, they have bucket hats and whatnot. He's everywhere. And there's this whole new generation of Sonic fans because of these movies. It's not just for the people that grew up with the games. It's now these kids that their only experience right now is the movies, which is kind of amazing. And what's wonderful is they really have stayed true to the games and the canon and a lot of the story that is Sonic. They've really stayed true to that. So they're not learning a new Sonic story. They're learning all of Sonic.
Did you buy your kids the Sonic bucket hat?
I tried. It was too small though. It was little for a little kid.
Darn.
Yeah, and it didn't have tails on it. So.
Oh yeah. It's got to have tails on it.
Yeah, if it had everybody, 100% we would. I don't care if they were too small. We would have bought them, but.
Do you have a favorite Tails line over the years? One that's maybe stuck with you?
Oh, there's so many. Well, from the second movie. Buttcopter. Only Sonic the Hedgehog could come up with something like that. I like the funny.
That's a good one. That's it. That's all my questions. We got through them all.
Look at that. We did it. Huzzah.
I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.